All right. Let's get it going right here, right now. This is TMI, and you're listening to episode number 22. Too much information. If you didn't know by now, my name is the Chadster. Chad, whatever you want to call me. And as always, I'm joined here by Vampire Queen herself, the one and only, very noisy tonight as we're getting rolling, Shelly Martinez. You're very, very loud over there.
I'm loud?
You're loud.
Is my volume out?
Noises. No, you're just making grunts and noises and this and that. We're trying to get the vibe going here, and you're like,
look,
you're doing this
because
and
that's real
that.
life. That's real life. That's
What's
real
the mood,
life.
man? What happened to the mood?
This is what happened. Okay, let me tell you what happened, okay? I went to drink out of my freaking water here, right? I was like, oh, shoot, let me get a sip in real quick. When I went, I can't even look. There's something in there, okay? So
It was a floaty? You got a floaty?
I'm not good at these things. So that's why I was like, of course. That's when I went, because it's like, of course, dude. Like,
Now you
let's
got me
start
checking my water
TNI.
bottle.
I'm all pumped, ready to go. I just need a little sip of water. But it's fine. It kind of goes in theme because I had to text you. I was on the toilet when I texted you, by the way.
You
And
did.
I went and I tweeted it while I was on the toilet. I said, whoever is throwing me negative vibes right now, you're making me have diarrhea. But it's okay.
I mean,
'Cause
I
it's
was wondering
all
where you
coming
were.
out. It's all coming out. And therefore, I will be skinnier. So I win. While you're over there upset watching me win. That's all I got to say. And people can think I'm crazy because I can be. But my whole life, I've always doubted when I have these gut feelings or something doesn't feel right, something feels off. And I even can, like something like this specific, someone's throwing me bad vibes right now. And this person, whoever it happened after I posted that I was going to take a dab right before recording. So it was like 10 minutes before we're going to go on. And whoever that was saw that post and got mad and threw me ugly vibes. And it made me have diarrhea immediately. I had to run inside the house. Ugh, but I feel real good. I feel really lean. I've been eating real clean. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you for giving me diarrhea out there, for throwing me ugly vibes. So,
Nothing needs to be said other than that.
so
There's your dookie.
Yep, there it is. There's that tweet. Of course, when I kick out, I get everything out just like that right there. I got everything out. So I'm like, man, I feel pretty light. I feel like dinner, easy come, easy go. It's already gone, I feel. So then I come in here, I'm pumped up. I'm like, yeah, let's go. And then the water thing happens. And I'm just like, oh. And I almost threw up. So that's why there was the grunting and this and that and the vibe change, because I was trying not to throw up.
Okay. All right. I can take that. But I mean, like, we're trying to get in the vibe, and I'm hearing.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry because I was about to throw up, and then
I mean, I'm waiting for I'm waiting for your
I know
your vampire sounds. Like, I'm anticipating that, and I'm hearing. And it's funny.
I want to throw up.
You text me, you go, I'm on the toilet. Give me a minute, and I hit the thumbs up, and I'm like, do I hit the heart? Do I hit the concern? Like, which one should I send? Do I go funny? Do I just go, okay, like I don't know where to go with that, but I didn't see your tweet. So you went the funny. So I didn't even need to.
Thumbs up is fine, man. I just wanted you to know that I was just trying to do my best, getting it all out. And I did. I feel really good. I feel really, really good. And here's the thing. About an hour ago, maybe, not quite, I also took an edible, and I haven't taken an edible in a really long time, so we'll see what happens, because this Sunday, I'm doing a group shoot. Now, what a group shoot is is a bunch of models are booked at a location, and then a bunch of photographers are there, and you just shoot content. It's really awesome. I haven't done it in a really long time because I just been out of shape and dealing with my own stuff. So I told myself once I got to a certain goal weight, that's when I'm gonna go back to doing group shoots. And even though I'm not where I want to be yet, I'm at that goal weight. And so that's on Sunday. It's this
Oh,
Water World shoot. And I'm really excited about it because over the years, I've always seen them post these Water World shoots, these group shoots. And I always felt so insecure to be like, there's no way I feel good enough to go and do these shoots. And so that's why I'm saying getting it all out, I appreciate it because it's only helping me even more to feel good for Sunday.
so from the poop shoot to the group shoot. I mean,
There you go.
it's all relative. I mean, it's all great. I personally am also very interested in your group shoot. So when it's all done, I'd like to know all about it and perhaps see the finished product. So, I'm invested just as much as you are now.
I'm so excited about this group shoot because, like I said, I've been wanting to do it for so long. And I just feel this is going back to getting back to myself and like really going back to my roots and having fun with it. You know what I'm saying? So, from like as you mentioned, from the poop shoot to the group shoot
The
and
poop shoot to the
everything in
group shoot.
between. It's all good in the hood, and I look forward to it, and I really hope that I walk away from that shoot maybe really vibing with a photographer because I used to have, like, a handful of photographers I like to shoot with on the, like, more regular, just because I know their vibe, I know I'm gonna have fun, like, whatever, and a lot of those people had dropped off because at that time, they were no offense if they ever watch this, they were already older, you know, and so now they're, like, really older, and so they're having, like, health issues, they're not shooting as much. So I'm really looking for my version 2.0, like, on-call photographers, and going back to these group shoots, I'm really hoping like, I hope I can walk away on Sunday at least with one person, I'm like, "Dude, I would love to shoot with them again."
Okay.
We'll see. You never know. Maybe it won't happen, but I feel you get what you put in. I'm putting it out there. You know I'll be vlogging, so stay tuned, and we'll see what happens.
Do these photographers have like one name, like Alejandro or like Paul? Like all. Like, do they have something are these like those avant-garde style photographers that are like way into their photography like world once they like set the set and like the elements have begun? Like, did they get way into it, or that is that the kind of photographer we're talking about here?
You know, at these group shoots, what's so cool is you can have a group shoot where most of the photographers have the same style and like you know what it is. But then sometimes you'll see somebody and then they'll be like, "Oh, well, here's my Instagram." And you look and you do see stuff like that. So you're like, "Wow." So it just really varies. But what's really cool is everyone just has their own vision, the models, the photographer. Sometimes it meshes well, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's okay. It's really cool. I really feel when I say it out loud, it really stimulates me as a model or someone that collabs with people because that's the kind of stuff that I like. I like being in a situation where it's like, okay, the task at hand is see how much good content I can get. Okay, let me see who I can vibe with. It's like almost this whole like social experiment, but then you find your people and then that's where you can make some magic. So I hope I can make some magic at the water world this weekend.
Okay, I hope you do too. I mean, hey, if this all goes well, I'll fly out to Cali, I'll attend the next one. I'll get the full experience with you because I just want to be there. I just want to be a part of it.
I understand.
Just encompass the group shoot.
Go group shoot.
So what else has been going on in your world?
I just have to say, this is me just being real. I cannot get over the fact how much the app Voxer continues to change my life.
Oh my god, I still can't believe you use it.
Absolutely. Me and my OGs, shout out to you. You know who you are out there, the ones that
Still using Voxer?
I try to bring people back and like, voice, audio, text is just as good or whatever. No, it's not. Because for me, let's say a bunch of stuff happens and I go and tell my friend, and a lot of the people everyone I Vox is in a different time zone.
Right.
So when they have the chance where it's like, I don't have to be calling them or texting them, bothering them with my BS.
Right.
But they have the time to sit down and like be like, I feel like kicking it with Shelly, so I'm gonna listen to her Voxer. So there's that element of you're not bothering people. And then what I like to do is if I get a reply back and my girlfriend is like leaving me a 15-minute Voxer, I can pause it and be like, okay, I'm at the part right now where you said XYZ. So then I get to, it's like I'm having that conversation. And it really sucks that all of my close friends do not live near me. And using Voxer, and when I've been Voxing lately, I have just been able to decode myself in ways I never thought in my entire life. And earlier today, I was Voxing with my friend, and I have this huge wound, a woman wrestling wound with this girl in wrestling. With this
Okay.
girl in wrestling, and long story short as I can make it, she's a very known person. A lot of people kiss her butt.
Okay.
Um, she's a bitch. She's a bitch.
Putting the dots together in my head.
That's a lot of people I can be talking about. Sorry,
that's
not
why
sorry.
the dots are
There's a
being
lot of people
very.
I can be talking about, but she's a bitch. And this bitch has effed with me career-wise. When I say a cock blocker, I'm not talking about with guys, I'm talking about opportunities. Little cock blocker, little hater. But it's so interesting because when I was Voxing with my friend, I said, "You know what's so crazy?" I said, "Voxing with you and you reminding me of what was up when I was Ariel or Selena's. And then when I do TMI and Chad brings up, that's when I'm like, whoa, because I was so, and I know I've said it here before, I'm so stuck back in that day of, I know the assignment and I'm very happy. I'm happy to be the vampire. I'm happy to be the chola. So it wasn't even a thought to me that I was possibly outshining people who were in bigger spots than me. But
Right.
I didn't even care because to me, it's like, that's not what I'm here for. I'm here to be the vampire or the chola. That's it. And so I didn't see myself, as I've mentioned many times on here, as sexy, hot Ariel. I was just being Ariel, man. And that's what she did. And so with Selena, same thing. Like, so when I've had these haters treat me weird in those eras and then a little after, especially after when I'm not on TV anymore, so I guess you can job me out. At the end of the day, what I've realized from doing our show and Voxing with my friend is why, because I've always been like, why? That's what the wound was. Why does this bitch have such a problem with me? Like, what did I ever do to her? Like, she's such a bitch. And now I realize it's not that I did anything to her. She was a jealous ass bitch. And she was a hater. And I wasn't looking at myself through the lens that she was. And Now I get it more than ever because even though a lot of people are a fan of her and this and that, she's not for me as far as, like, my fandom goes because no facial expressions, and so it just really throws me off, and it makes me not invested. So she probably looks at me as somebody who is just going out there, whether it was Ariel or Salinas or on the indies, and then here I am doing my Shelly thing, and I'm able to go in and out of it because I'm tapped in like that. I'm even though I've had my insecurities and I continue to have insecurities, we all do. I've always been good with who I am and what how I work with what I got. And
Okay.
this jealous ass bitch. So it all clicked today. And then that's when I was like, oh, I'm not, how can I be mad at her? This is sad. And I'm not seeing that in a condescending way. It made me feel so sorry for her. That's like, how can I be mad at somebody that I pity?
Ooh, I like that. Just before you continue, is this the cock blocker you have told me about in the past?
I have privately talked to you about this person. I have.
Okay, then I know who you're talking. So I put it together quickly. Okay. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I knew who you're talking about.
Here, I'll text
You
you.
didn't need to say that. I just want. I know who it is, so you don't even need to say it.
Well, I just
I
wanna know if you
remember.
do
So
know. But
no,
anyways, so
I
that
put it
was
together. Yeah. Oh
that
no, that was way off. Wow, I
oh,
was way off.
see? Oh, see?
Way off the mark. Ooh, but I can see it.
Mhm. And so when I pitied her today in my living room when I was voxing, Voxer, shout out to you. When I was using Voxer with my friend and I
Now I
had
feel
the
bad for
moment,
deleting Voxer.
I had my moment, and as I was talking, that's when I had it. So as I was voxing her, I was like, "Oh, I feel sorry for this bitch." And then that's when I ended the vox. I kinda just stood there, and that's when I was like, "How can I be mad and carry this wound with me that she has, like, put on me? And how can I continue this? Because I literally pity this girl now because now I'm seeing the big picture. I'm seeing her insecurities and this, that, and the other. And I feel that she always saw that I saw past her social mask.
Mm,
And that's why she was weird to me. But what's
interesting.
interesting is when I saw past her social mask, that didn't make me dislike her. We all have our own things. If anything, it was like, okay, that's just how she is. Okay. But it was when she started to get weird and mean and start talking crap about me, that's when I decided not to like her anymore. Not because I would see her physically get weirded out by me. And I think it's because she didn't know how to deal with me. I feel she put me in this box of, okay, I don't really know this girl, but I kind of do. And I think she's just like this way. And then when I wasn't, her brain, her insecure brain was like, wait a minute, I can't be wrong because now the ego's taking over. My ego can't be wrong. I know how Shelly is, and I'm gonna keep like pressing it. And then she can't make sense of why I'm not matching. That's why at times I feel she seemed like she liked me, and at the time, it was throwing
Mm.
me off because she seemed cool, but then there'd be times like she was a bitch, and I'd just be like, "Dude, what is this?" Because now I don't like
Like
you.
I could see like a condescending personality coming out about certain things. If I'm correct in saying that. I obviously wasn't there, but I could just see a outward fakeness and a backstab or not. I don't know if backstabbing is the right word, but just a behind your back talk, like shit talk going on.
Shady.
I get
Shady.
shady. Yeah, that's a good
Just
way to put it.
shady.
But the way
Shady ass
you're
bitch.
framing it is you're like you're finding the sympathy as the receiver for the giver, because there must have been something there that you don't know. Maybe she didn't know and she was masking it and using you as a punching bag for some other reason at the time. Now, there's some things that aren't so peachy in that world anymore for that person.
I know. And that's why I'm just like, dude, I don't care. If she wants to have her little opinion of me and if she wants to just always paint me to be whatever and want to roll her eyes and like talk crap, I really don't care because that's really sad. That's really sad. And even though throughout the years, especially when I see this person on my feed or someone brings her up because they're always like, "Oh, da da da," I get triggered. I get immediately triggered, and it bothered me because it's like, "Why do I care? I don't want this." Like, I don't wanna be triggered. Like, I don't wanna even waste my time on this person because, like, why? And now I just totally get it. And it was quite the moment. So that's why I was saying earlier, I was like, a lot. And what's interesting is what started to make the wheels turn on this was I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it was when we did the match review for LAX. Whatever. Recently, you were bringing up how over we were and like our spot. Like you were just like reminding me the value that LAX we had, right? And so when you were saying stuff, this person with along with their her little friends, um, they were popping in my head because I was like, "Oh, they were looking at me like that." And as I've mentioned on our show here, I was in a really vulnerable, sad, bad place at that time, dude. Even though TNA was there for me, like I didn't see myself as all this hot Selena. So when I was
Mm.
in it, I was just doing it. I wanted to keep my job.
Mm-hmm.
But these bitches were looking at it as like, oh, Shelly, huh? Oh. And I remember, and it made me trigger to a moment I had where one of these girls had come up to me at a show, and I had this really cute, green dress on. It was summertime, it's hot, and so it was really low cut, not super low cut, but hello, I have big boobs, so if I have something low cut, it's going to look different than
I mean,
someone
come on.
that doesn't, okay? So the way I looked at it was,
Physics.
it's summertime, like, whatever, I got a bra, I'm not gonna pop out. So I remember this girl, I was at a show and I walked up and she just looked at my boobs. And I was like, "Is something wrong?" And she was like, "Oh, no, I just really like your dress." I go, "Well, then why does your face look like this right now? If you like my dress, why does your face look like that?" And so that's another moment that I had when you were reminding me because these girls that especially the ringleader I've had issues with through all these years,
Mm.
I'm now seeing it all through a different lens, dude.
Interesting. Oh, I have so
All
many
through a different
questions.
lens.
Oh, so even with this, so okay, the ringleader, okay,
Yeah.
we're gonna put that person over here. Their friends had to have come from the same place, I'm assuming, where you also were and worked. Am I right?
Look, this is all I'm gonna say. These gals that I'm mentioning, I've worked with all of them at different times in my career.
That's what right. That's where I'm
We've
getting at. So
worked I don't wanna give it away, so I'm just
no,
gonna
no,
try
I'm
to
not. I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to get clues. What I was getting to about the dress thing was, I would think the person I have in my head why would they make a comment like that to you about what you're wearing?
I don't know.
I'm sure they probably would have something that would be questionable as well.
I don't know. I just
Why do you always seem to be the target?
because people get upset that I don't buy BS. But as long as you're cool and I see that, like, behind, again, that social mask, we all have our things. I'm not judging. And these people think I'm so judging them, but in reality, it's probably because that's what they judge about themselves. So they get mad at me and use me as that because I don't roll with the program. I don't kiss their butts. Um, I don't get wowed by them. I don't want their like little validation. Like, no, dude. Like, no.
Hmm. Interesting. Great time to also point out that not only is TMI's TNA Days episode 1 already out in existence for your listening pleasure, it's an audio podcast, but episode 2 will be recorded next in our TMI recording sessions. And I'll tell you now what it's going to feature since we're talking TNA. It's going to feature Final Resolution 2008, the night that you debut with LAX.
Oh, I don't remember.
So the match is LAX versus the Rock and Rave Infection. So we will watch the match, we will break it down, we will discuss, and we will see what comes back to you. But we're only cracking the surface of the TNA days and this with the ZE, and that's like little fuzzy little memories over your head that we're gonna help you get through. We're gonna work through these with you. I don't care if we need to Vox you to get you through these. I just checked both of my phones. I deleted Vox off both phones.
Well, I am Voxer through and through. I love Voxer, keeps me connected. Hold on. So I'm just grateful for it. And people fall off. I used to Vox with a lot of people, and it's like everyone fell off, but I feel like the OGs, those are the ones I have these groundbreaking moments with where I'm just voxing with them and venting about things that are bothering me or like this, that, and the other, or just needing someone to talk to. And I'm really figuring stuff out because here's the thing, you know, this is the last year we're going to be living in this house. And one of the things that I really like, my wish for myself, I guess you'd say, is when the time comes for us to leave this house, I want to leave here all this baggage, all this stuff I've been holding on to. So when I go and move on into a new place and make that my home, I'm not bringing that with me. That I can start recreating this new chapter in my life because I've lived here for a long time and I'm really upset about it. To be honest with you, I cry about it. And it's because I've poured my heart and soul into this property and I've gone through so many different phases of myself, so much pain, so much hurt, making bad decisions, so many things, man. And when I've talked about on here, like shame and all that, a lot of those bad choices were here. And it's like part of letting go of that shame and moving forward is leaving it here and being done. And so it's so crazy, this wrestling wound, especially with the women that have hurt me, because that hurts the most. That I'm like effortlessly, just because I'm making time for my girlfriends to chit chat with, getting those answers or those things filled, or the not feeling closure or whatever feeling, those like the answers coming to that and filling it in, and it just trips me the F out. Like, I can't, but I'm here for it. But it's very draining and it's a
Yeah.
lot.
We will get you through this.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm just happy to be included in your Voxes as a source, hopefully mentioned by name as such a great help to you. Just 'cause I'm
Voxer,
here for you.
you should sponsor us. I just want a free
And
account.
you make me want to bring it back. Oh, I only had the free one. I never had the pay one. And I think that's why, because I used to like, and that was another reason why I hated it. I would always hold the button down to record. And like my finger would get tired or I would let go of it. Like it always backfired on me. So I
No,
get
dude, a long
frustrated.
time ago, they updated it to where you can do, like, just a push it once, and then you talk for as long as you need to, and then you push it again to stop. Like, they changed that a long time ago. Thank
Well,
you very
I
much.
guess
Good
what?
Voxer.
I never really, I guess, mastered it, and it used to piss me off. And then I would never see the notifications, so somebody would respond to me, and it would sit there for like a week, and then I feel like a jerk, and it would
Well,
sit
now they
there.
give you emails. They'll be like, "Oh, you have a Vox, an unread Vox." You can go for the little email alerts. So there's that. They fixed the bugs, man. I know what you're talking about because I've been with Voxer since way back in the day when I was doing wrestling full time. Voxer was my SH. Like my relationships, some of my relationships were
They
being
lived
held
through
together
Boxer.
through Voxer. Like,
That's great.
dude, you don't even know, man. And so there was one time where I actually paid for the feature because what it did is it let you go back to like where they already had erased the Vox. You can't get it. It let you
Right.
go back. I forget how long it did. And at that time, pathetic white boy was trying to be shady.
Oh boy.
So I needed my proof. So I went and I paid it. What a loser I am. I went to pay for it to bust him with the girl that he cheated on me with. And at this point, they're already
Mhm.
broken up. And he was trying to play both sides. I was like, no, bitch, listen, hold on.
Okay, I got you.
That's the only time. But I think it's pretty cool. And here's the other thing. I used to Vox with Daphne,
Oh,
and
okay. So you had those on there.
I had them on there, and then one day and I wouldn't delete them. And then enough time went by where it, like, expired or whatever, and then they were gone, and I was like, "Oh, man."
Yeah, there was. I do remember, like out of the blue, they just like wiped everything because I had the same thing where I had a conversation that was there forever, and then just one day they just wiped everything.
Well, unless you
Gone.
have the paid feature, it's, like, so many days. I can't remember what it is. So, that's just what happened, and I hate that. I hate that. I hate that
Yeah, it
because
sucked.
yeah, dude, but, that's what I'm saying, man. Me and Voxer would go way back. I love Voxer, and I just wanna see maybe I'll pay for it again one day just for an experiment, how far back I can go. If I don't can't go that far back, I'm gonna be really upset.
Okay, I would agree. That would make me upset as well. I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about a couple of things I had to talk to you about. But you've already made a couple videos about them, but we have to talk about them on TMI. Um, First thing I want to talk about is the book. You know what book I'm talking about?
The book?
The book that you bought. This
Oh,
this book, Hard Boys and Bad Girls. Okay,
yeah.
I have some questions about it. I know you had some feelings about it going back and looking at it. Um, this was interesting to say the least. Now, you said you were looking for it for a long time. Um, wh- t- Tell me about it. Tell me what you remember about it. Tell me why this means so much to you, and then we'll kind of go through some of
Yeah.
the pictures that you put up because I mean, just going through the ones that you were going through, I mean, I was, the first one I started with was your profile.
I
And I mean, that's quite the
know.
picture right there.
I know. And here's the thing. When I was boxing with my friend, I was talking to her about when I first got the book. And hold on, I want to get to the page. So, here we go. And I remember this Shelly. Okay, so all I cared to look like is a girl in a white zombie music video. That was my aesthetic. People want to say I was goth. I was, and I've said this before and I'll say it again. I was horror. Like, I love the horror look, the throwback, the sexiness. So that's what this is. And I remember this photo when I took it. First of all, those are my real boobs. And I was so insecure. I was so insecure. But I knew I had a really cute outfit. I knew my makeup looked really good and my hair looked awesome. So I had to kind of ignore that I felt completely fat, which
I mean, you look great. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about.
that's what I thought though at that time. I was in such a dark place. I was in a bad place, man. And I was just, everyone was telling me that I was delusional to think that I was going to be this wrestler for WWE one day. Like, it was, but I wouldn't give up.
No.
And here's
No.
the thing, going back to that ringleader, girls like her throughout my career always saw that photo, like the vibe of that, right? So they just always assumed I was just this certain personality. And then some of them that really like are lurkers and try to study me because they're like, I gotta figure her out. They soon realize, like in this era of me, for example, those girls knew that I didn't feel that way about myself and that I wasn't aware. And those were the ones that were even meaner to me. And the ones that like,
Mm.
the ones that they were mad because they thought that I thought I was the shit because this is how I looked. But when they
Okay.
realized that I was like, I don't think I'm the shit at all. At all. Like, I'm fat. That's how I felt in this picture. I'm fat. My boobs suck. And we talked about justice for areolas. Go check that episode out if you want to know the details in that story. Everyone was telling me I was crazy for trying to be a wrestler. I was getting no support from SoCal. I was so upset with the SoCal scene. I was like, man, people talking crap. At this point in my career, they're like talking crap about me. Oh, Shelly thinks she's da 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 da. And it's because I was gaining interest. And what's interesting the most about this to me is the cover of the book and how those are my eyes. And then I'm thinking of I did the person from and
Yeah, yeah.
the thing. And you know what these eyes say? You're telling me no, but I'm saying yes. That's
Interesting.
what these eyes are saying. You're telling me no. I'm telling you yes. And that blew me away, dude. Blew me
So
away.
so it's interesting though that people can perceive a certain aura of somebody from a photo. I mean, again, like if you look at it, you go, okay, confidence. Okay. But it's an art form. And what you're trying to sell here is somebody who's in the pro wrestling industry and you're selling me on a character. So like you just said, goth, Rob Zombie video, horror. I'm looking at it and I'm getting every single one of those vibes from what year is this? 2003-ish, 2004?
That's according to this, if that's when I was 21, that's 2001.
Okay, 2001. Okay. So that's exactly the vibe. But that's an art form. So if anybody looks at that and they're buying into anything but what you're trying to put down, when you go to the wrestler A photo on the next page and it's Bill Smith and he's doing this thing with his arm, what are they perceiving from his photo? Confidence? He's believing in himself. I mean, that's what a photo's supposed to do. If you were sitting there like, who would want to buy the book? Who would want to look at this?
You know what it is? It's not my confidence was low, but again, I know what I like. I'm me through and through. I'm effortlessly myself. And that's what these girls get upset about because I don't have to strategize. I'm just like, I'm going to put me into all my characters, whatever it is, and make it me and what I'm about so that I'm organic because I'm a fan of that, whether it's, the way an actor or actress is, a band, a model, like whatever. I've always been into people. For example, we've talked about many times on here. I was a little girl. I was gravitated to Cyndi Lauper. Like I've always been into what I'm into. And back then, the darker look, the more spooky vibes look was not the thing for girls. In fact, people would tell me it could hurt me, but I always thought no, because this is who I am. I know how to be this because it's not a costume, it's who I am. And I'm bringing that to the table. And so some of these girls, they don't even know who they are. Some of them, their whole identity is just, I'm a professional wrestler because I've been doing it since I was 12 or whatever.
Right.
And that's their identity. I'm this, I'm the lucha queen, I'm the queen in Japan, or like whatever it is. And so they let that become their identity when it's like, no, you are your identity. And then you throw that into wrestling. And that's when you're being a good carny and getting those asses in the seats because what you're selling is yourself. You know yourself. You can market yourself. But if you don't know who yourself is or you're not comfortable or like who you are, it can be very difficult when you're an entertainer. And that's why these girls, some of them were bitches to me.
Right. And that sucks. I mean, it's absolutely asinine because you need everybody to be different. Not everybody should look the same. There shouldn't be a cookie cutter, mold. And people complain about that. Oh, everybody looks the same. Every single person from the, let's just say WWE system looks the same. You put up the picture maybe a week ago of you and Beth Phoenix, and then the picture of Drew Barrymore and I forget the other actress's name from Batman Forever. And I for the first time like caught that. I was like, wow, you can't have the sugar and spice without spice. Okay? You can't have the white and the black without the black. So you can't be cookie cutter. Everybody's got to be different. If everybody was the same, it would be boring.
Well,
But
it's interesting because the reason why I had to put that over is when Beth pitched me being with her and Aaron because they had already been in OVW together. They had kind of a preppy, like rich kid vibes gimmick. So they wanted to reinvent themselves. And that's when they came up with, I'm not sure if it was her or Aaron or both of them, but she was like, we want to do this character that's kind of like the on Batman, the Two-Face character, the one with Drew Barrymore. And I know I forget that girl's name. She's a really good actress
she
and
was in
she's really pretty.
Entourage.
All kinds of stuff. She was in
Yeah, she's
Goodfellas.
in everything. I just can't. Her name's escaping me.
Deborah something. Anyways, so that was the aesthetic. That was the vibe, and that's what they presented. So that's why I tweeted it saying that I will always put it over because we did that and it was so freaking awesome. And I just remember Heyman, I remember one time he's like, I just love the dichotomy between Shelly and Beth. Like it was like so cool to hear that from him. But we really went for it, man. And I feel not to burst people's bubble out there that look at Beth a certain way. I feel that's a different side of her that she really was good at that people would be really surprised.
Yeah. And I mean, not a lot of people saw it because it was an OV dub.
I
Unless they
know.
put those out. I mean, they're WWE's putting out such random shit now, like Mid South and World Class. Put out some OVW, man. Let's see the gems.
Well, the
See
Diva
the
Crate, that's the why I see all this stuff all the time. They put out those matches sometimes. It's gotta
yeah.
be
Well,
smart.
WWE's got it. But so back to let me go back to the book. Hang on. So here's you got there was pictures of you, in your element.
Oh my gosh, look, I'm standing the same way right now. That's just me, dude.
But again, like you'd see elements of what we would see down the road, the hair, the black. I mean, it's just this what's wrong with this? There's nothing wrong with this. I don't know how anybody would pick that apart.
It just wasn't the time, and now I feel all the girls in WWE kind of have a darker vibe now, a good amount of them at least.
It's a mix. It's a mix of everything. Here you are in some lovely space here, some great wrestling. But do you know where you were wrestling here? Would you pick
I
a
believe
building?
that was at the Knights of Columbus Hall in what's that city? Oh, shoot. I can't remember what city. It was here in SoCal. And if I remember correctly, that match, I ended up getting a concussion while I was in the ring. I can't remember even what happened. And I remember all I remember is like whatever it was happened. And then the next thing I knew, I was in the back. The match was over. And I remember feeling it was a real badge of honor because I was always brought in the business of if you could get knocked out and still know all your spots and hit all your spots and no one knows and you finish, that's when you know you're a worker. And that's what happened because I wanted to see the thing back and I watched the match back and you could not for a second you see I kind of am dazed for a second and then I go right back into it and I do all the spots and you never knew and it scared me and of course I didn't go to the doctor or to the hospital or anything and I remember being so scared because when I went home, the room kept like spinning and things like that. I was so spooked. And to be honest with you, ever since that happened, I've never been the same again. Like something happened.
Are you serious?
I
From
swear to you.
2001?
Something happened. And I there's something that's always been a little off. And what sucks is one of the things that I noticed, especially when I started doing broadcasting, even way back in the day, my first podcast, is I've gotten a lot better because I work on it. But after that had happened, people, and because I didn't drink at that time, people thought sometimes I was tipsy and I never knew why. And then when I started doing podcasting, I would notice I would slur sometimes. And I'm like, oh, whoa, like that's why people.
There's one or two episodes of TMI that I suggest don't listen to. Then if you want to look and see
That's different. That's different. That's different. But it was really weird to me back in the day when I didn't drink and people would accuse me of it because I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I wasn't hearing it.
Right.
And then I become a drinker, whatever. I don't know if it got worse or whatever. I'm not sure. All I know is it clicked to me prior to my drinking career, I guess, why people thought and then I remember there was a couple times I would notice it, and that's why it was after that concussion, I was like, "Whoa," like, I would get frustrated because I would feel like I couldn't what I was saying wasn't the way it was coming out wasn't what my brain put together and it was weird and I just kept like it's just because I got banged up whatever and ever since then man I have those weird moments.
So is that the only concussion you got? So you had to have gotten your bell rung again
Oh my
at
gosh,
some point.
many times after that.
So
But
maybe it got rung and unrung a handful of times.
here's the thing. I just remember clearly how I used to feel, and like I said, I've never felt the same again. The enunciating and things like that better,
Interesting.
I had
Okay,
to train
I see what you mean.
I had to retrain myself, and again, it was because it was so obvious when I would edit or hear interviews, and I'm like, "Dude, I wasn't drinking, what whoa," or as I was recording sometimes, I would hear it, and I'm like, like, "Why?" And then that frustration would happen of that's not how the messages that I'm telling my mouth to do to make the sentence come out, that was like, why did it skip a beat there? Like, and it would weird me out and make me feel super weird. But throughout the years, I just have worked on it. So
Mhm.
I've gotten better, but there's times where that's why when I'll talk sometimes and I'll pause because it's about to happen. I can feel it because like it's gonna happen sometimes where my tongue does this weird thing. I'm like, it's gonna be this weird slur. So let me just take a second, say it a couple times in my head, and then say it.
Interesting.
I know.
Very
It's weird.
hey,
I should go get an MRI.
right, you should. You should. Were you a part of the concussion lawsuit?
I was not.
Oh,
I
well,
was
hey,
asked
you
about
could have
it.
got in on that. Could
No.
have just said it happened in in their ring.
No. I'm good. I don't want any part of that stuff.
Um,
But the
just
book.
want to, yeah. Back to the book. So then you got this picture here. Desire trying to escape Melina, 2001. You and Melina wrestling outside these buildings.
It's the wrestling school.
That is the wrestling school,
Mhm.
okay. But so this tracks you and Melina all the way back to 2001.
I believe that was our first match. I mean, we had been training together for about a year, but I believe that was our first match.
What do you remember about this outside affair?
You know, I don't remember much. I just remember not wanting to mess up. I was nervous. I remember feeling really fat. And so I remember when we were inside, I was getting insecure about it. It's something Melina told me. She was like, "No, Shelly." She's like, "You just have shape. You have shape. Like that's what you're seeing is your shape." And I remember thinking, "No, it's I look fat. I look fat." And it's crazy because later on, I realized when I got in the phase of my life where I didn't feel like I was fat. I was like, "No, this is how I should look." I would think back to Melina saying, I'm like, "You know what? Melina's right. I do have shape." So I always appreciated the support that she gave me because she knew I wasn't trying to look for someone to be like, "Oh my gosh, no, you're not." Like, it's not like I'm fishing, right?
Right.
But the way she said it was almost like, "Man, I wish you could see what I'm seeing right now because that you don't look like that." And so seeing these pictures, I'm like the first thing heard in my head was Melina saying, "No, you're not fat, you just have shape." And she was right, and I look really cute in those photos. But, at that time, just like that one promo one that was at a different time, you know, I just had really bad body dysmorphia, you know?
I mean, it happens and it's unfortunate, but there's nothing you can do about it. If you feel a certain way, you just have to train your mind to find a way to not let those intrusive thoughts in. You have to get around it. But I mean, at that point, still, you're so young. You're still 21 years old. You're so young. It's hard. It's very, very hard. Quickly, Melina, aka Kyra,
Kyra, yep. Kyra.
2002. So, did she start as Melina and go to Kyra, or was she Kyra? Like, is that her ring name when she first wrestled? Like, what was the Desire Kyra lifespan for the two of you?
I feel she was always Kyra. I feel that. I could be wrong, but that's what I feel. Because again, we both started very close our wrestling careers by training. And so when we had our first match, like, we've gone out and done, like, valeting and stuff like that, but we still hadn't really, like, had matches yet, you know? So, I always remember her as Kyra, and we had a really good feud, we had a really good thing going. There was a time she was out for a little bit because she injured her knee, so that sucked because that's when I really realized how much her support helped me, like, when I was training or at the shows or whatever. So that time was a really I needed that friendship, and then on top of it, we were hanging out outside of wrestling, and I would go to her house, and she'd go to my house, and I met her mom, and she's met mine, like, it was more intimate, and I needed that kind of a friendship, and we always uplifted each other and always kept it real, man. Going back to Voxer, the OG Voxer for me, Mia Molina used to do the Nextel. We used to Nextel each other.
This is okay, yeah. So this is, I mean, it's very the whole book is just it's very cool, the pictures that you put in here. Candace Dawson,
Yep.
age 17.
Candace wasn't in my era. She was, like, just below my era, so I didn't know her until later in my career, but yeah, there she is. I thought that was cool.
Yep. So you got that one, and then I mean, you posted a lot of great pictures. I'm not going to go through every one of them because it would take forever.
But here's the thing.
Last one I want to point
Yeah,
out. Oh, sorry.
yeah.
Go ahead. No, you
No,
go
no,
ahead.
go ahead.
The one I wanted to point out was Under Pressure and Iceman John Black.
Yes.
And you pointed out Iceman John Black, one of your trainers, and that you like to give both John Black and Kazarian the credit for being the masters behind your training.
Yes, because every time I get interviewed, I'm like, the Havana Pitbulls, Frankie Kazarian,
Yes, and the
and
Pitbulls. I don't want to leave them out.
and Iceman John Black. And so, like, every time I've said this, I know people don't know who I'm talking about because he was just a SoCal guy, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way. And he really did help me. This dude in the black shirt, he helped me understand this business, man. He's one of the senseis. And I always give him, always give him props, but I never have had a reference. So when I opened this damn book up when it came earlier this week and I saw that picture, I about took a bump. I was like, there he is. It's like Sasquatch, there he is. There he is. And I'm going to be real with you. OM to the G going through this book triggered me so much. It triggered me in ways, good ways, not so good ways, revisiting a lot of things. It was a rough day. I took a couple vodka shots that day. That's what kind of day it was.
Again, when I saw you put the book up, I mean, I was like, man, I can't wait to talk about it because I'm sure it was going to elicit so many memories. I mean, like us talking about TNA. Okay, yeah, it's 2007, 2008. Like that's a timeline, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've talked about WWE a lot, but we haven't dive deep into it. We will at some point. This is even before that. I mean, this is the beginning. So for you, I'm sure every page turn was something, and you're like, what happened to this guy? And where is this guy? And I like that you were able to get a hold of this because I'm sure it was therapeutic for you to go through it. So this I thought was great. So I hope Triggered was both good and bad.
It was.
Bad is not always bad.
Exactly. Well, this one right here, I want to point out. When I first saw this one, this is Liger Rivera. He passed away a couple years ago, and rest in peace. He was also Batmanuel in Hood Slam. And when I first saw this picture, I was like, "Oh, man." And then the second thing I said was, "That damn wall." I said it out loud because
Dude, that caught my eye too.
that damn wall, because it took me so, like, when I think about that time, or I tell somebody a story of that era, I don't think about telling the detail about the wall. I don't even think about the wall. So here I am not even looking for the wall. And to see that effing wall took me almost right back into that time. I'm telling you, it was weird, man. It was weird, especially because I left that school under bad terms. It was weird. And then there's Liger. So Liger, I reconnected with him after I left wrestling because he was a security guard at a dispensary I used to go to. So it was really cool because I got to catch up with him, still see him, especially because we do go so far back, you know? And so when I heard that he had passed, it was rough, man. It puts things into perspective, all the things. And so that picture, I was really just so many things at once level, dude.
Yeah, I had never heard of him before, but that wall caught my eye
Mhm.
immediately, and I just could picture young Shelly staring at that No Holds Barred Hulk Hogan poster, being like, "Oh,
Brother.
Hulk Hogan." But I mean, like, then there's that awesome Bret Hart poster of him in the mountains, and then there was an Guerrero's Piper poster from California. So I mean, like, there's a lot of history on that wall. So
It was an aesthetic that I loved. I remember the first time I walked into that school, and I thought, "I have to do a photo shoot here." That was my first thought. "I have to do a photo shoot here," because it was my aesthetic, everything, like, the way the walls looked, everything was just, it was so meant to be, man. And even though a lot of things went down over there, I'm grateful for my experience, you know, it taught me a lot. It's a lot, dude.
sure it is. I know from what you've said, it wasn't the way you would have liked for it to have gone down for your exit, but
But it's alright, you know, it was life's way of telling me I needed to move on, and I
right.
did, you know, and it worked out. That's why that one picture, that first one we showed, it's so crazy because I remember the doubt that was around surrounding me, of people, my family telling me I should just get a real job and all this, that, and the other. But I knew, and then people saying, "Oh, Shelly's psycho. She's crazy. She thinks she's gonna be some wrestler." And, you know, there I was, man. Ugh,
And I
it's
think
so
it's crazy
crazy.
because I mean, to me, this is somebody who's like oozing confidence. Whereas here it is, right here. I mean, I think that this is like probably like out of all the pictures that you posted, the best one. And I'm not glazing you. I'm just stating. So, but I thought this is like the best, like professional looking pick, like most star power of the bunch. Like this one really was like the standout of the crew. So
Well, I appreciate that because you know why? I know the assignment.
yeah, I'm sure you do. One thing I have to point out, I mean, this is just again observation. That tattoo had to hurt.
Oh, this effing tattoo, this crappy, crappy, crappy,
Okay.
crappy
I'm sorry.
tattoo.
We don't have to talk about it. I'm just pointing it out. I mean, look, I've never sat here and studied my podcast partner and been like, what can I look at here? But I looked at the picture and I was like, wow, look at that. And I was like, man, that had to hurt.
Dude, you have no idea. And I remember, okay,
Did it hurt?
so
It's 1 to 10. How bad?
it hurt. I remember I had my hair curled, and by the time the dude was done, it was, like, straight and wet from just sweating. I was just remember holding on to the chair. I was, like, in a long kinda chair. I just remember holding on to it. And the thing is, I wanted a Sacred Heart 'cause I'm a very rockabilly girl with a horseshoe, a dice, and some flames. That is what it is of. The dude told me, because at that point, I was not a medicator, I was not a drinker. So he told me, "Do you mind if I go smoke for a second because it helps me with tattooing?" I'm like, "Yeah." And looking back, I probably was making him really nervous. So he comes back, he does the tattoo. Dude, here's like, let's say this is a Sacred Heart. The horseshoe should be perfectly, like, fit right there. Dude, it's to the side. He messed up. It's a horrible tattoo. It was a good idea, and everyone and their mom thinks it's such a hot tattoo, and it's like, "No, bitches, you like where it's located at." That tattoo sucks. I have wanted to get rid of it, but I'm too chicken to go through the process of getting a tattoo removal. I always thought when science catches up and they come out with some kind of cream that gets rid
Yeah,
of tattoos, I'll just wait for then. Until
wait for that.
then, I'll just live with this ugly tattoo, that this really cute tattoo guy gave me.
I mean, again, like, I never noticed it. I never really I just this pointed it out, like, I mean,
Even my
it
Ariel doll has it.
never know. I mean, what do you think? I have a room of them over here? I
No, no,
mean,
I'm just saying, like, they included it, you know? It's
that's great. Well, I thought this was an awesome uh, post that you shared. But we still have more to discuss. And we are going long right now. We got to talk about the Tommy Dreamer situation. Now, again, you posted a video about it on the YouTube page, but we got to talk about it a little deeper. There's been so much that's coming out just in terms of, I mean, what can we even say is coming out? I mean, it's like, and that's why I really want to talk to you about it because I mean, there's just it started with his release from TNA, and the release is over creative, according to TNA. They weren't liking the direction, so they let him go, and then it's just exploded since. And Dreamer is beloved by those that have been around him. There are now people who are coming and saying they really don't like him. There's some that are saying he's a little bit on the creepy side. There's some that are kind of in between. So you put out a video the other day just addressing, your thoughts, but more has come. I mean, more has been talked about since. That was still 3 days ago at this point. So where do you want to pick it up?
well, actually, this goes far back. So people that wanna go collect receipts, make sure you write this down because it's a lot. So, I'm not jumping on some kind of bandwagon talking about Dreamer. There's a couple of wake and bakes I did ago where I actually talked about Dreamer, and that's the first time. I know I did a video recently on my channel about how I was clearing some stuff up when I was on the Monty and Pharaoh show, and I had mentioned that I used to really be about Dreamer, and then I put these, like, expectations on how I thought he was, and when he didn't match them, I got mad because I was disappointed because I thought I knew him, and my whole point was to be like, "That's not fair to do," because he never asked me to project the way he was, and it took me a really long time to look at it that way. I've just been really mad at him to where I've been straight up rude to him, hoping he'd ask me why I was a bitch to him. So when I was in the beginning phases of realizing this, I talked about it on the Wake and Bake because I pull up sometimes videos from my past that are on my channel, and I don't watch them ahead of time just to get the shock value to myself or the realistic reaction. And so it was something in there about Dreamer, and then that's when I was talking about how it wasn't fair. So it's so interesting to me because this was weeks ago that this was something that was on my heart. So when I was on the Monty show the week before and he brought it up, I didn't realize that he had gotten fired. It was news to me when he showed it to me, and it was tripping me out because I was thinking about how he is something that I've been taught a topic I've had on the Wake and Bake, talking about these conflicting feelings I've had. And so I said what I said, and then that's when I made another video talking about how I wanted it to be more about you can move on, like, you're not can't be at TNA forever. So that was like the whole rounded way I looked at his video. But then after I was said and done with all of that, that's when other people started tweeting things, accusing him of things, or saying, like you said, get a bad vibe, a creepy vibe, or people being upset that people are talking crap about him and defending him. So it was the timeline of all that really tripped me out because something that I've struggled with is being mad at Dreamer. And so I feel everything that's being said about him online right now, everyone can be right. But what I don't like is when people, I'm kind of disappointed in seeing some people that I really, really like kind of fighting and going back with people online, fans, because the fans were coming at them for defending Dreamer. So, and then when you have independent wrestling coming and saying things, and then they're kind of getting that same treatment, I don't like that. Everyone can be right. The people who love Dreamer, they probably all have great experiences with him. So that's why they love Dreamer. I used to be one of them. And then when I saw certain behaviors, I was disappointed to the ultimate. And that's when I turned on Dreamer. So I understand actually both sides that are fighting. I understand totally liking him, having a friendship with him, even having heart to hearts with him. He's being a good friend. I've been there with him. But then I've also been disappointed by his actions and how he's handled things or whatever. So I still feel weird about it all.
What's weird for me is I'm actually able to talk about Tommy Dreamer on a podcast because I went for 6 years not being able to talk about Dreamer.
Rightfully so.
Because it was never, anytime he was in the news, we were never able to talk about him.
And,
So it's nice to
rightfully
be
so.
able
Rightfully
to talk
so.
about him right now.
Rightfully so.
So everything that you just said, I'm so much in agreement with. And it's just so funny because the only people who I feel can't say anything in this scenario are the fans. Because if you have never dealt with the man, you really can't have a say in the fight. And each person, the bullying, the inappropriate behavior, all that stuff, the creepiness, everybody can have a dog in the fight here. And this can go all the way back to people. And you want to hear another weird thing too? I recently thought about him because I was rewatching some of the old Dark Side of the Rings, and I saw the one with the plane ride from hell. and he's pretty prominently featured in it, and he's the closing voice, and like he's giving Ric Flair a pass for Ric Flair's transgressions on the plane and what Ric Flair does to the stewardess on the plane and taking the robe off and spinning his dick around like an airplane and doing the woo up and down the aisle. Like he kind of gives him a pass because it's Ric Flair kind of thing. Like, and like, you know, like she should have told him no, or she should have just been like, it's Ric Flair, you know, like he's really a poor voice in that whole entire thing. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a few weeks ago when I watched the Dark Side of the Ring, but I couldn't find a way to shoehorn it in, and all this popped up. But every single thing, the one that popped up was the independent referee that he told the quote, Tommy Dreamer pulled me aside backstage at a TNA show, told me he would do everything he could to make sure I don't earn a job in the wrestling business. All I did was try to learn and grow from experiences. Through his words, though his words were very discouraging for a very young student to hear. And then he goes on to say, blah, 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 like a whole other thing. This is this guy's experience. He had like a 4 or 5 tweet. Maybe he just took Dreamer's very monotone way of speaking out of context, or his way that he talks to people the wrong way. You know, like he's a weird guy. He's not like I booked him in shows. He's not like a
He is a weird guy.
He's not a conversational guy. Am I right?
Yes, dude. I just never really put it together, and that's the
like
thing.
this.
That's
He's
why I
not
liked
very
him for so
conversational.
long. That's how, because I liked the isms, but when you take it out of a wrestling bubble, he is a weird guy. Going back to the Flair thing, yeah, in the wrestling bubble, oh, there goes Flair. But when you're out in public, bitch, you got to keep it in. Put the mouse back in the house, brother.
He's just like, he's not. I don't know how else to put it. Like, again, like the guys that I know that were with him in ECW, love him. The guys that were around him, WWE, like when he was semi active and kind of like, I guess, in the town, like those guys they're 50-50 with him. They love him or they don't love him. Like, but he's a weird guy. Like he's not a personable dude. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. He comes up, he's different on TV. Okay, when there's a camera on, wow, somebody turns into a different person. But we just talked about this an hour ago. But as a fan, like you can't understand that if you haven't dealt with the man. So Mickey James kind of attacked this independent referee, and that set off this huge thing. But then a couple females from the indie scene chimed in, and guess what? They're not a fan of the coochie claw and the spanking spots, stuff that Dreamer's been doing since the 90s. I can't tell you how many watch-alongs that I did with Francine on Patreon or YouTube or whatever. And we would watch the mixed tag matches with her and Shane versus Dreamer and Beulah, where it would be like, oh, here's the spot, and it would be the coochie claw, or it would be a spanking, or, I mean, the pile driver, where he would parade the girl around the ring. Like, these are the spots he did for 30 years. This generation, not a fan. They don't like that stuff. So, again, like, it's your audience. Who are we dealing with? These people don't get it now, versus the ones that did maybe 25 years ago. So I don't know, like, who are we to judge now with Tommy Dreamer? Are we judging the innovator of violence that had the boys behind him? Or are we judging the guy who just got fired from TNA that's now getting shit on by the current generation of wrestlers?
You know, this is just really a testament to time. During my day, Dreamer was already such a vet that he was working in the office, right? That was a long time ago. And so I feel a big part of this has to do with that old school wrestling mentality back in the day, and I don't wanna say people like Dreamer in a derogatory way, but people who fall into that category, they want it to stay that way, so they just, like, plant their mind there in that era of, like, their wrestling mind and still operate on that level, whether it's inappropriate or not. There was this one guy, a good example. He was not in my era, but, you know, back in the day wrestler. And he would get inappropriate with me a lot. And I had no problem telling him in a nice way, "No, dude, I told you, like, that you're not being a gentleman right now. Like, why are you still trying to ask me out?" And the reason why I wasn't cursing at him or getting mad or in his face is because I understood he's just like like he's from like this wrestling in like I don't know, like the 70s or 80s. So he's just from that different era. And so I knew he wasn't trying to be a scumbag. He just he's still living he's parked in that era where he thinks and he was an awkward guy too. And so take him out of wrestling, really awkward. So I knew I could just tell him instead of being like, "Who the F do you think you are?" I'm like, "Dude, come on. I already told you, man. You're not being a gentleman." I did like a boy little boy, "And not being a very good gentleman right now." But it's because I saw that he just sparked in the '80s, man, and how it used to be. And where Tommy was at his where it used to be, even in my era, it wasn't that. It was changed. That's why there was all that drama and Lost in Translation of the new ECW coming to WWE because it wasn't the same. It
Mm,
wasn't the same era. The business has changed at this point. You can only go so far with it before you have to evolve it to the audience, and that's what happened. And then eventually just faded away
right.
because they got everything they could, in my opinion, out of it because times have changed, man. So, like I said, even in my era, it evolved. And then from my era till now, it has evolved many times over. So you got a guy like Dreamer who could be parked in those ECW era, and that's just how he thinks the business is and he operates. You have people that condone it, you have people that enable it, you have people that worship it. And so he's good. It made the wrestling business made it easy for someone like Tommy Dreamer or whoever else just parks it at that. And even if they're inappropriate or weird, because they're just that's all they know.
Right.
So I feel that's what it is with Dreamer. Is if he were to say something inappropriate, someone would be like, "Ah, it's just Dreamer being Dreamer. Like, just ignore
Yeah.
him."
Yeah. That's exactly what I feel like it is too.
So I don't know. I don't
Because
think
there,
it's
wait,
what
sorry. I'm sorry. I know I interrupt you all the time.
all the
I
time.
just have to because there's something about him that has always been out there that people just go, nah, it's Tommy
It's Dreamer. It's
and
just
it's
Dreamer.
okay. But everybody knows about it and they go, nah, it's all right. It's Tommy. And that's okay because everybody knows it's just him. It's
That's
fine.
why I got really irritated and a bitch to him. I punished him because I felt it was this injust "Oh, he just gets this pass? Well, guess what? I'm not giving you a pass. I'm not giving you a pass. I don't like that." And that's when our energy changed, and like I said many times before in the past, he probably thought one day, like, "Why does Shelly just hate me all of a sudden?" Because this has happened with a couple different wrestlers that at one point I had a real positive, friendship with, and then I realized kinda the same, and I was like, "Ew, never mind." And so what am I supposed to say? Like, "Oh, you're a douchebag." Like, I'm not gonna sit there and be a jerk about it, so but I don't let them in anymore, and it bugs them, and I'm not trying to bug them. It's just they're too scared to ask because I think part of them is thinking she's probably gonna say something that I don't wanna talk about because she's Shelly.
But we love when you do that.
So I never set out to hurt Tommy Dreamer's feelings. It's just It is what it is. It's a gray area in the sense of I don't think it's as malicious as some people think, and I'm not trying to not make what people have shared their experiences. I'm not trying to make those things not valid, 'cause that's not fair. And again, everyone that's been posting about it or their experiences or taking up for him, they can all be right at the same freaking time. Because this is the world of professional wrestling, baby. Do we all really know each other? No. And then, of course, different people, depending on how you know Tommy Dreamer, are going to have different levels of experiences with him. So it's I think, I just don't think it's as malicious as it really is, not in the sense because I'm condoning some of these behaviors that people are posting about, but I feel in his head, he's just operating how Tommy knows how to operate another year. It's sad because I always felt that Tommy had this real like depressed vibe about him, kind of like Eeyore.
Yeah,
And I always
yeah, that's a
wondered
great
why.
comparison.
Because he's real funny, so it's in witty and cracks the jokes and this and that. So you have these moments, so he's not totally Eeyore-ish, but even like the way he kind of walks sometimes, just like the way his tone monotone and everything. And so I don't know. I feel I don't know. There's more to Tommy than meets the eye, and I'm not condoning anything because, like I said, I've been a bitch to him for years, but I think it's more complicated than we all think, and I feel we're just gonna all have to watch and see what happens. He's gonna be fine. People are gonna book him.
That's
That's
exactly where I was gonna go next with it too. He's gonna be a guy who's Teflon. Nothing's gonna stop Tommy Dreamer from he's still gonna be on conventions. He's still gonna be in ECW, whatever retrospectives. He's not canceled. I don't care what anybody says. He'll probably get hired by WWE or AEW for creative at some point. Like he's not gonna be hired. I mean, that's
that's
ridiculous.
why I was really shocked, and I don't know the details, so I'm not trying to be a bitch. I was really shocked on how emotional he got in that video because I thought he's gonna be fine. I don't
He
understand.
does
And
that all
then
the time, though. That's like his thing. He always does the
interesting.
emotional video, like where he's all, or the emotional speech, where he pours his heart out and how much he loves the business and blah 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 blah. He always does that.
Let me tell you something. There can be a commercial that if I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, look at the, like, details of this commercial," and it'll make me cry. I am a crier, like, I'm so effing sensitive. So something that really sticks out to me is when someone gets emotional around me or if I'm watching somebody get emotional, like a video, and I feel nothing, and it's almost not only do I not feel anything, I start to detach and just say, "What is the agenda here?" And I'm not trying to be a bitch. Again, I don't know any of the details, but that's how I felt when I watched Dreamer. That's why when Monty was like, "What do you think? You feel bad?" I was like, "No," because I didn't cry, and I cry for everything. St. Jude's, freaking the Shriners,
The
like, oh my
Shriners. You're
gosh.
crying for the Shriners
Well,
too?
the kids, the little
Okay, yeah,
kids
the
for the
kids are
Shriners
sad.
Hospital.
Yeah, that's sad.
So, I cry sometimes when I'm out and about, like, if I go to Disneyland or go somewhere like a theme park, I will look at Metal Jesus and he'll be like, "Oh, here we go," and I start to cry and I go, "Look at everyone's having such an amazing time right now." Like, I am a weirdo like that. So, when people don't make me feel anything and make me go, "What's the agenda?" I ask questions, but I don't want to ever try to take away how someone may be feeling or how they're expressing themselves because that's not fair.
Right. I get you. Were you crying happy tears when did you see I was clicking ads on all the videos on YouTube? Did you see me doing that?
I did not.
Oh, that should make you cry happy tears. Before we wrap this up about this, I want to point out. So this is a wrestler named Kennedy. Okay. She posted this picture. Okay. Tommy Dreamer spanking her on
Look at the guy in the
behind.
corner.
He's
It's
just
like,
waiting. He's just waiting
what?
to get back up and get back into it. She says, hold up. We're sharing our Tommy Dreamer stories because one time I told him I really wanted to take a cane shot in a match, and he told me he doesn't do that with women. So instead, we did a spanking spot because women. Am I right? And she continued when somebody said, "Why didn't you just not do the spot at all?" She says, "Because I was young and dumb and impressionable and a people pleaser and still very new in wrestling and didn't know I could say no, especially to a vet." Because I was always told if you really want it, you do anything for it. And there is the picture.
She took accountability, so there's that. So I don't want to see anyone coming after this girl. Here's the thing. There's two different scenarios. One, Dreamer's wrestling brain is parked and he just does the spots he does, whatever. Doesn't go outside the box. And then there could be another side to the coin where he's being a perv. So which one is it? Or is it a blend of both? And I haven't spoken to Dreamer in a really long time. I only knew him when I did. And like I said, I mean, it's wrestling. It takes many, many years to truly know someone. So did I ever really know him? You know, so I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer to that. So I'm dying to know though which side of the coin it is, because now as a viewer, like everyone else, I'm intrigued. Like that picture, then what made me think of it is that photo you just post with that girl's tweet.
Yeah.
It's like, what was going through his mind? And when he said, I don't do that to women. I you know, I do this. Like, what was the thought behind that? That's what I'd like to know. If Dreamer was in front of me right now, I would say, "So why didn't you just wanna do the cane spot when she wanted to do it? Why don't you do that to women, but you do this to women?" I literally would say that to his face. So, that's what I'm thinking. And maybe this is sometimes a picture can capture not really necessarily a moment, but just a frame, and something can seem like, for example, say if I'm having the best time ever and someone's taking pictures and I'm not aware because I'm just whatever, but for a second I take a deep breath, and that's when they take a picture, and it looks like I have a resting bitch face. So it could
Yeah.
look like the entire time I was having a horrible time because of that
Right.
one picture, but
Right.
really I was trying to catch my breath because I was lit. So this picture could either be it looks malicious and weird and creepy because it's just a frame that got caught, or it really is weird, malicious, and
Yeah.
creepy.
Like maybe he grabbed her to do it and she like got away, but it's in such perfect photography still motion that he's in his most aggressive spank action and it looks like he's ready to spank her butt off. But I think this is such a great indie photo with like whatever that is on the back wall, scoreboard or
Yeah.
bingo board or
Mhm.
something.
Mhm.
You see the announcer's table all the way back there. You see there's like 2 rows of seats. Like this is such an indie photo. Like I love that.
Love it. And here's the thing. The reason why I keep going back to everyone could be right about their opinion on Dreamer is because I put myself in his shoes. There's a lot of people out there that hate me that have dealt with me in life, not fans, but in life. And then there's some people who love me. And then there's some people they're like, she's all right. And then everything in between. And all can be true. All of it. And so it's a complicated thing, especially when you throw in there gals telling their stories online about being uncomfortable. I'm not trying to take away from the referee, but Dreamer being a vet, he should be trying to keep the girls in the locker room safe and feel safe, like they're in a safe space because he's been in the business long enough. But maybe Dreamer doesn't even think of it that way. Maybe his brain doesn't go to, oh, I want the girls to. But then it's weird because I know a lot of girls I used to work with to this day are really good friends with them. And they're like girls, they're cool chicks. And so
Right.
maybe he is like that to an extent. I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't. Here's the thing. I don't know Tommy Dreamer. I just don't. So I don't know what his intent is, but I'm dying to know because now I'm curious.
Not gonna lie, that referee sounded like a bitch. I mean, he just sounded like a complete well, oh my god, he said I wouldn't make it. Oh my god. Shut up.
Well,
Go to
maybe it
Twitter like
traumatized
that. Yeah,
him.
stop. Be a man. Don't go to Twitter with it. Go find your veteran mentor and talk to him. Stop. Don't go to Twitter and try to get sympathy. Ridiculous. And then get called out by Mickey James. Stop. Please. Yeah, I mean, can I tell you the amount of times I've literally just been like, you know what? I'm just going to deal with my problems rather than go to Twitter with my problems and post it and get somebody's opinion on what my feelings are on this matter. Just shut up. You caused the problem now for certain things that you didn't need to.
Well, here's the thing. I'm the type of person that though I am very private and I I keep a lot of my personal life very private. I do say a lot, especially on Twitter. And a lot of times I go there not because I'm trying to get attention or sympathy, but because maybe I feel there's an injustice somehow with like a person. So I'll throw something out there because maybe it makes me dumb, but it makes me feel like at least I said my piece. And that's the only justice that's going to be served in this. So, what if this dude did have this negative experience with Dreamer and he just needed to get it off his chest? That's what Twitter's for,
That's true. That's a
you
good
know?
point. You have 67,000 followers. He has, let me see. Hold on. I'm judging this on his following base. You've got 67,000. He has considerably less. His opinion doesn't matter.
That's not true. And here's the thing, there's been times where maybe somebody I don't really know
2,700.
maybe somebody I don't really know, but they're like on TV or something. I'll tweet about them. I'll be like, I remember this one girl. I'm like, I'm mad at so and so or whatever, and I meant it. And as dumb as it was, it's because I knew behind the scenes she had dealt with one of my friends and she was a bitch to my friend. So for me, even though it means nothing, it made me feel better to be like,
Different.
she's a bitch.
That's different. You are a voice we want to hear from.
I guess.
But
Here's the thing, let the dude say his story. It's fine. It's not gonna hurt Tommy Dreamer. Tommy
no, it's not.
Dreamer's gonna make his money. Everything's gonna be fine. It just makes me sad to see people getting wrapped up about it online. Um, I don't and I get it, I do, but can't we all just get along?
You said something a couple minutes ago about somebody mad at you or whatever, and I wanted to end it on something like your mother or your grandmother would say who could be mad at this girl right here?
A lot of people.
Who would be mad at this young
A
girl right here? I mean,
lot
come
of
on,
people.
who would be mad at you?
A lot of people.
I
Mhm.
I refuse to believe that.
It's fine. There's people I don't like, there's this one girl, oh my gosh, she bothers me. I'll text you her name. She bothers me so effing much. I don't know her. She's a wrestler. Um, and every time I see her, she freaking creeps me out. I get bad vibes. I will ask my wrestling friends. I'll be like, "Do you know her? Because why?" I always say this. Why do I hate her? Like, I hate her. I don't like her at all. And I've never met her. She's never done anything to me, obviously, because I've never met her. Like, I have nothing to do with this girl. but I don't like her, man. I don't. So there's some people I probably have that same effect on.
Well, I look at that picture. Who could hate that girl? That's come on. Come on. Oh my gosh. But the other one that you just messaged me, I could see it. I could see that's I would agree. I would agree with you on that one.
She's
All
like,
right.
gag me with a spoon. But anyways,
Yeah.
besides the point.
Well, also has that face sometimes too. So all right. Well, let's get to the old wrap it up here. Quite the detailed episode. We covered a lot of ground.
We did.
A lot of ground.
The more importantly, I got all the shit out before we hit record.
You did. It was I saw some Instagram video the other day. It was like how much I was like would you eat how did it go? It was like for $1 million would you eat a piece of dookie for $1 million? And the guy goes up the next frame is him at like a drive-through window. He goes, I have a dookie sandwich with a side of dookie fries.
Oh, I couldn't.
And your little meme made me think about that. It just was, I don't know, dookie sandwiches for everybody.
I can't. I couldn't. I would throw up. There's no way. It sounds, oh yeah, $1 million. But when you're in it, it will get you.
the it hits the fan.
It's the fan.
All right. So yeah, listen, I mentioned it before. Go back and check out the first episode of TMI's TNA Days. We look at Shelly's appearance in the Knockouts Gauntlet match. And next for episode 2, we will look at her first appearance with LAX as the LAX team takes on the Rock and Rave Infection at Final Resolution 2008. So it's going to be the journey that we go on. And again, we took all the roads to get to the match. So we'll cover everything there is to cover about it. And I love doing this kind of stuff to be a great compliment to all the things we talk about on TMI. So go back and listen to episodes 1 through 21 of TMI, whether it's video, whether you take it on the road with you as a podcast, whatever you want to do, just listen to TMI, share, comment, like, do everything you can to spread the word because it's growing. It's like a fungus. It just won't go away.
Well, I am the fungus after all. All hail the queen.
And the fungus queen reigns supreme. So if you want to follow me, it's at ChadEMB on X.
And if you want to see what I got going on, just go to shellymartinez.net/links. It's all there.
All right. Well, we'll get out of here for this week. For Shelly from Cali, this is your old buddy, the Chadster. We will catch you on the flip side.